Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today I'm going to show you the real deal.
Alright guys, so this buck, I think it's hurt. It's literally right here. It's a nice big buck. So I'm gonna make sure it's okay. Look at him. He's stuck right here. I think he's hurt. So I'm gonna try to help him out. You okay, buddy? This is crazy. This big old buck. Pulled him apart. I wasn't able to film because I couldn't hold it. And whenever I got Jaylena to come help, he finally took off up there, but I think he's super exhausted. He was stuck in the fence. Alright guys, so let me know what y'all think of this awesome fire pit. I kept the rustic cedar chairs and benches. I put the river rock. This is river rock on top. It's just rock on the outside that I got from here. Of course, it's bordered and everything from rock from here. I didn't want any straight lines. I didn't want it all perfect or anything of that nature. Later, I might put rock on the inside here, but I just figured, hey, let's see what it could do. So I'm gonna try to get this fire going more, and I'm gonna enjoy my awesome new fire pit area.
the floor done, all that was left was for me to reinstall the electrical system.
So Jason and Jaylena, I just want to thank you so much for like all the hard work you put into my van.
Yeah.
We literally pulled apart and rebuilt my van in less than 24 hours. Some of that interrupted by storm, but
most of it interrupted by storms. I was just glad the sun came out when we're done.
Yeah, exactly. Just as we were finishing up.
But we got it, and I told her, I said, we'll knock this out in a day's worth. If it wasn't raining, we could have done the whole thing in a day. She didn't believe me. No faith. No faith.
So I want everybody to know, like, this whole layout was pretty much like how I wanted it, and I just didn't know if I could pull it off. So I'm so grateful for both of you guys' help. Like, I just feel so much more comfortable in the van. The van is so much more functional and I still don't know why you did it.
We just want to help, and I mean, she came down, we put on this meetup for YouTubers, and the whole thing was literally to help other YouTubers. We just extended it, you coming out here and doing that. So, I mean, you're awesome. Jaylena's a huge fan. Fangirling a lot every time your videos come on. So it was just an honor to help you out. So.
All right, I ain't smelling great, but I kind of want to.
Yeah. Tom, what are you doing?
I'm trying to put this screen up. Hot out.
It is a little hot.
Texas.
I had my brightness up so you look like an angel.
That's gonna take a better lens. I made Mama happy. We made Mama happy. You did good. Trust me, she kept saying the other night, I can't believe how much Jared's just so willing to help. He's so nice. What did we do to deserve a friend like that? She kept talking about you. She loved you to death.
If I didn't like you, I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know you well enough to know that. That's hurt.
And I'd much rather, even if I work all day, I'd much rather be outside mowing than have Rhonda out there mowing. Like, if
That I appreciate a lot. Because you've done that the whole time we lived here. You've been that way, and I really appreciate that as her husband. Not just your friend, but as her husband.
You saw the video when Jason came upon the deer. Huge 11-point buck stuck in the trees there. A lot of people would have gone and got their rifle and shot it and had this huge trophy. Not Jason. So he tries to get the deer out, and he can't quite do it. So guess what he does? He goes back and gets Jaylena, and off camera he releases the deer, and Jaylena comes up with the camera, and they didn't get, you know, the good money shot of getting the deer unstuck from the tree. The deer runs off. Jason, you know, gets a little bit of it on video, but the good guy gets the deer to safety before making sure that, oh, I get the right angle, the right shot. This is going to be an awesome YouTube video. You know, we have to make sure that we get different angles. Let's get a couple cameras. Let's get some lighting out here. No, he didn't do that. He made sure that animal was safe and taken care of, and he didn't worry about the shot. Now, that's a good guy. That's the real deal there. My first introduction to the Crockers was on the RidgeLife Freedom Tour. My wife and I were taking a motorcycle trip around Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and back to Tennessee this summer. It was kind of it was the Freedom Tour to get away from this COVID thing and to get out and to, you know, meet people on YouTube. We had 15 to 16 channels lined up to visit on our motorcycle trip. Of course, there's a lot of YouTube channels in Northeast Oklahoma. One of the ones we're going to meet up with was the Corgills. Now, Chad and Whitney had set up for us to go eat dinner with them that night after we visited with the Payne family. Well, they were delayed at work, and it was like 90 minutes before we could actually meet up to go eat. And when I pull up to the restaurant, Chad and Whitney were there. Whitney comes running out, and they had a surprise for us. They had invited Jason Crocker of the Crockers to eat dinner with us. Now, I was a big fan of the Crockers before that, and I'd sent some emails out and some messages, and got a little response. Daniel Arms, said they were going to be out of town on vacation. I didn't get a response back from a lot of the other bigger channels there in Northeast Oklahoma. But Jason was like, "Hey, cool, dude. We'll see what we can do." Well, I didn't want to pressure him. He didn't ask for details, so I didn't really, I'll visit the Corgills, I'll visit the Payne family and a bunch of others in the area. I didn't want to bother one of those bigger channels. And well, guess what? Whitney and Chad got Jason to come down to eat dinner with us. He waited at the restaurant for 90 minutes for us to get there. We almost, they were almost closed when we got there. We stayed and talked for a couple hours. We closed the place down. And one thing unique about Jason and this interaction, I can talk a lot. Chad Corgill can talk a lot. Jason Crocker can talk a lot. But guess who did all the talking? Chad talked. I talked. Jason listened. He asked questions. And he wasn't boisterous. He wasn't full of bravado. Just a super genuine guy, really interested in our channels, what we were doing on the Freedom Tour, and just amazing the perception I had of him after this meetup. Cool thing is, I never asked a single thing of Jason. Never asked him to do something for us. Never asked him to give a shout out. I did give him a t-shirt, before the trip. And then after the trip, I gave him a special RidgeLife Freedom Tour t-shirt. He did meet up with us, so he earned it. And but that guy, he wore our shirt like on every single video. He had 2 different shirts, and I think he wore them like 9 different times. I had people texting me and messaging me saying, "Hey, Jason Crocker's wearing your shirt." And I'm like, dude, I didn't ask him to. It was just a really, really genuine, really, really thoughtful guy, and I was just blown away by him. Of course, the Crockers have done shed to tiny house. They had the one in Texas with Jared and Jaylena. And then, of course, Jason moves up to Oklahoma, and he starts his tiny house. He's living in a tent in the wintertime, building his tiny home. And man, have you seen it now with the cedar planking and the chinking going in and the green roof and the overhang porches? It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. The guy is super, super talented. Not only can he build with wood, he built this awesome fire pit. Now, he just grabbed rocks from the river and the mountain there, and he built this beautiful fire pit. The guy is super creative, and he did it while wearing a RidgeLife shirt. So yes, he's creative with woodworking. Yes, he's creative with building things like the fire pit. He's also so helpful. We had the YouTube meetup in Pryor, Oklahoma. He worked with the Sawyers on it, him and Jaylena Lever Wild, and they got the church set up. They charged $0. $0. He paid for the drinks, the Sawyers and Jaylena. They pretty much did everything for us. All we had to do was show up. 45 channels show up, probably 200 viewers and fans. Cool thing was, this was not the Jason and Jaylena show or the Sawyer show. They walked around the room making sure that they got to meet and shake hands with all the new people to make sure their needs were met. And, say, "Hey, I'm Jaylena. I'm Lever Wild. How are you? What's your channel?" Really interested in the other people's channels. And then, of course, making sure everyone else knew about their channel, giving shout outs and just general recognition for all the channels that were there without really blowing up their channel. I got back, and of course my views were up, and from the weekend of the meetup to the full following week afterward, all Jason did was shout out and blow up all these other channels. I probably got 1,000 subscribers. Yes, 1,000 subscribers during that week. I'm well over 4,000 now. It's amazing. One really cool thing that happened is I normally have a live stream on Thursday night. And sure enough, on this Thursday night, guess who shows up? Jaylena shows up. Jason Crocker shows up. Jared Crocker shows up. Now, Jared normally has a live the same time, same day I do. And, there's only so many time slots in the week. So, that's just how it works out. Well, guess what? Jason and Jared talked, and Jared gave up his live that night so they could all come to my live. And then Jason gave Jared his Friday night live time slot, so Jason didn't even have one. Jared took Jason's, I took Jared's, and they blew up my channel with that live that night. I had over 300 people in my live, super chats coming in, which I don't solicit. And normally I've got 50 or less on my lives, and I had over 300, like 320, 330. It was just an amazing, amazing night that really those guys really helped set up. The meetup really didn't end for everybody on Saturday. There's a channel called The Dawn of Van Life. That was one of Jaylena's really favorite van life channels. And Dawn came and she was so cool. She went out to the Crockers, their property, and she had a conversion van and it needed some work. Well, Jaylena and Jason offered to do a 24-hour renovation of her van. They tore everything out, tore the electrical, tore all the paneling, tore out, and Jason and Jaylena built her platforms and cabinets and just flooring, and it looked really good and gave her a good foundation to continue her van renovation. She was super excited about it. She was so thankful. She asked Jason why he would do something like that, and he said, it's just an extenuation of this YouTube meetup. We're here to grow and give to other channels. We're not here to take, we're here to give. Speaking of giving, his brother Jared. Jared is a strong-willed guy, to say the least. I mean, he has an opinion and he is not afraid to show it, and he always does the right thing in the face of adversity. Now, his neighbors, Tom and Rhonda, beautiful couple, they got a channel now, and At Home with Tom and Rhonda, but they haven't always had this channel. Now, since Jared's been down there in Texas, he's been good friends with Tom and Rhonda and helps them out in every way he can. He mows their yard, he helps with screen porch renovation, and just a general nice guy to take care of your neighbors like that. And you've seen all of the things I just said in the videos leading up to this. I didn't want to talk about the Crockers being the real deal. I wanted to show you in video the Crockers being the real deal. Now guys, I'm not taking sides in any kind of controversy. I just want to give you my experiences with Jaylena, Jared, and Jason. I am blown away by their generosity, their genuineness, their care for their fellow human beings, not just the YouTube world. Every time I've talked to Jason, it's been like, dude, are you doing well? Hey, what can I do for you? It's really cool to meet you. I was really honored. I like how you're energetic about your channel. Your commitment to your channel is refreshing to see. A lot of people, they get into the YouTube thing and then all of a sudden they give it up when it gets difficult, or they get a milestone and they go away. And he's always been there to encourage me to continue on if I have the will, and as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing. To Jared, Jaylena, and Jason, I appreciate you so much for being who you are, the real deal on YouTube. There's no doubt about it. The things you do are genuine. The things you say are from the heart. Yes, you make mistakes. Yes, you make bad decisions just like the rest of us. But you own up to them and you move on, and we sure appreciate that. Make sure you're watching the Crockers yourself, their videos, before you make any judgments going along with the gossip or the hearsay or just the trolls on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you're making your own opinions based on what you experience from the Crockers yourself. Jason, Jaylena, and Jared, I know you're the real deal. I appreciate you so much. So until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go Ridge Life.